Well, it's been a while since I last saw you. Maybe it's been a couple of weeks. It's been at least a couple of weeks since I last spoke with you. And in that time, a lot of things have happened. It's been very busy, but one of the biggest things is this government shutdown. And I understand that both Democrats and Republicans are very ambitious. They're ambitious and they want to get their favorite um, issues addressed. And they don't want to address the issues of the opposing party because the issues of the opposing party are contrary to their own ambitions. Well, I just want to tell all these ambitious po- politicians to please stop it because we voted for you. We voted you into office, and you have an obligation to the American people to end this shutdown. No, no question in my mind, no bones about it. You are responsible. You have a responsibility, a duty to the American people to end this horrible shutdown. And I want you to do it right now. I don't want you messing around. I don't want you goofing off. I don't want you playing golf or fleeing the Capitol. I want you to end this shutdown. I know Trump wants this shutdown. He's always wanted this shutdown. He wants the shutdown more than anything because it's going to give him an excuse to fire as many government workers as possible. And he's the one behind the shutdown. He's responsible for it because he's given the Democrats no options as far he just wants to get everything he wants on the table, and then the Republicans turn around and accuse the Democrats of doing the same thing that they did way back in 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021. Every single year of the Biden administration there was either a shutdown going on or a threat of a shutdown coming up, and they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. And now they're accusing the Democrats of being too ambitious. Well, that's politics, right? Every side in a political battle is ambitious. And the Democrats are in the wrong, the Republicans are in the wrong. They're both too ambitious and they're too macho. They're too macho to admit that they're wrong. Even the women feel the obligation to be macho. So just stop it, okay? Just stop it, please. Please stop this and end this government shutdown as fast as possible. Who cares what Trump wants? Who cares what Trump does? If he wants a shutdown, he already got his shutdown. Fine, now end it now. End the shutdown. Don't be ambitious. Don't be ambitious. Be on the side of the American people. Because the American people at the end of the day are the ones who put you where you are. And they put you there for a reason. And that reason was not so that you could resist ending a shutdown so you can get all of your political goals fulfilled. That's out of range right now. Is getting all of your political ambitions fulfilled. That's out of range because the Republicans have control of the Congress and the White House and even the judiciary branch. They have complete control. And if you don't make some compromises somewhere, then this horrible shutdown will continue. And each side is blaming the other of doing the same thing. Well, it's time to stop playing the blame game and start fessing up because it's time to end the shutdown. On to other news. Well, actually, let's say a few more things about the shutdown. Think about the consequences. The consequences to the American people, the consequences to our future, the children, and the consequences, they supposedly Medicare will be all right, but everything else, including HUD, will just go down the tubes, and um, people will be losing their places to live. I could lose my place to live because of this government shutdown. It's not pretty. It's not nice. So, um, government shutdown. I do not agree that we should have a government shutdown. I don't agree. And if Trump wants it, then Trump will have to go too. He'll have to be uh, his entire administration will have to be voted out of office when, well, he only gets 4 more years anyway. That's why he's doing whatever he feels like now. But after 4 more years is up, then we can not vote Republican for hopefully a century. Because they were in total control. They were in total control of the three branches of government, and they blew it. They blew it. And it was young people that trusted them, and it was young people that put them in power, and they blew it. They blew it for the young people, and they blew it for the average American. So whoever voted for Trump was gullible, but they're paying a high price for it now. They're paying like the ultimate price. So I just want to say that the shutdown will have some serious consequences, and that we should end it as soon as possible, because the average American will be suffering without the care that the government has previously provided to them. And they've paid into the system. They've paid their taxes, and they deserve the services that were promised to them, and they're not going to get it now. Okay, so in other news, there's been a lot of plane crashes. A lot of plane crashes. And there was a stabbing in England. But onto the plane crashes. The planes are being sabotaged. And we want to know who's committing this sabotage, because there never used to be problems with planes. There never used to be problems with planes. We went for many, many years without problems with planes. And now all of a sudden we're having all of these problems with planes. Well, the air traffic controllers are partially to blame. The pilots are partially to blame. The carriers, the carrier companies are partially to blame. But the saboteurs the most to blame. And we need to find out why and how and who is sabotaging these airplanes before it's too late. They may even be sabotaging other things like school buses and other things that they've been sabotaging. We have to find out. We have to find out quickly who's sabotaging the airplanes before it's too late, before another life is lost, or before more people are endangered. Find out who's sabotaging our planes. The other thing in the news is there's been a stabbing. Well, it was a hit and run and a stabbing. So what happened in England, there was a synagogue, and I think the synagogue services had let out, and there was a crowd of people standing around in front of the synagogue. A car, and that was for Yom Kippur. A car ran into the crowd. Then the driver got out of the car and started stabbing people left and right. And you know that's wrong. That's wrong. You shouldn't run your car into a crowd and then start stabbing people wildly. So that was wrong of the driver. His name was Jihad. His name was Jihad, and there was one woman and 2 other men arrested in conjunction with this with this jihad person who did this. And jihad had it in for these English Jews. But the thing of the matter is that a lot of these politically motivated and racially motivated and religiously motivated hate crimes is tied back to the behavior of Israel. And I'm not saying that makes it right, because it doesn't. But the thing is, Israel has been neglecting their duties to the Gazans. They because they're making war on the Gazans, they're obligated to feed them, to clothe them, and to house them. And they haven't done any of that. Instead, they've been bombing them and scaring them and driving them in all directions. And driving them from one place to another. And wherever they go, Hamas follows. And so then they come after the people again and again and again, because Hamas is always with the people. So what we need to do is make sure that the people and Hamas are separated. But it's going to be very difficult, because the people support Hamas. They're on Hamas's side, oh yes. They give Hamas all credit because of them being, they want all of Israel for themselves. The Gazans want all of Israel. They want their land back. And they want it all to themselves. And they don't want to let any Jews have even one piece of land. They said, they have this song or whatever that they invented, from sea to shining sea. That's how they put it. That they want from the Red Sea all the way to the end of the Israeli territory. They want that all for themselves. And the Jews are not going to give up that land. They're not going to give it up without a fight. And so, and of course, the Hamas committed jihad on the Israeli people back in October 7th of another year. And so this war has been dragging on for, how many years has it been now? 2 years? I think it's been 2 years the war has been going on in Gaza. And Israel brought the war to the Gazans. It was out of sight, out of mind, away from their homes when October 7th happened. But then Israel brought it home to the Gazans, and they didn't like that. They didn't like that at all. But the very least they could have done was feed them and not have a humanitarian crisis. They had an obligation to feed the Gazans, to feed the Gazan people, or feed the Palestinians, rather. And they didn't do it. They haven't been doing it. They haven't been feeding the Gazan people like they were supposed to. So because they did not feed the Gazan people, now there's a humanitarian crisis. And it's just ugly to see the destruction of the Gazan people and how heartless it is, and how they don't give them any even wedge of humanity left. They're just cruel to these Gazans. They have no empathy at all for what they're suffering. So just say no to the war between Israel and Gaza. Just say no to the war, because the war has been going on for too long now, and they're determined to eliminate Hamas. Netanyahu met with Trump, and they agreed that they were going to end Hamas however they could, and they had a peace agreement, and they said that if Hamas didn't accept it, that they would continue with the war to its conclusion. And Hamas didn't say anything. They didn't say a word. So now they're going to go to its conclusion. And that's going to be the destruction of the Palestinian people. They're just going to kill and kill and kill until everyone's dead because their people are harboring Hamas and giving aid and comfort to Hamas. So that's the gist of it. That's what's going to happen. And um, it's been some shootings here at home, and there was a guy on a boat, and he was shooting at people on the shore. I think this was North Carolina, and he was shooting people, and he had planned out the attack, and he was supposedly like a veteran that was having PTSD. That's what they claim. And there was a shooting somewhere else. I'm not sure exactly where, but there's been lots of shootings, lots of stabbings, lots of car attacks. And it's been going on for quite some time now. And they say that the number one killer of children under 18 in America is guns. Gun violence and guns are the number one killer of these kids. So think about that. Think about, do you really want your guns anymore if they're going to be killing kids? I don't think so. It's time to put an end to gun violence. And that only way to put an end to gun violence is to remove the guns from the people who do these things. And I just wanted to tell you about the holiday. It's tomorrow. Yay! Tomorrow is the Goddess Worshippers Thanksgiving. And at Goddess Worshippers Thanksgiving, we have a Thanksgiving feast, and we can have whatever we want to eat. Whatever your family likes best, you can serve them. If they like turkey, you can have turkey. If you like spaghetti bolognese, you can have spaghetti bolognese. Or lasagna, whatever you like best, you can have on Goddess Worshippers Thanksgiving. And some people observe Goddess Worshippers Thanksgiving with a vegan fare that they eat vegetarian food, and that's okay too. You can do that too, but most of the time you can have whatever you want to eat. And I encourage you to stockpile all your favorites and get ready to cook tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day of the Goddess Worshippers Thanksgiving. It's going to be great. You're really going to enjoy it a lot, I promise you. I wish you and your family the best on Goddess Worshippers Thanksgiving. And I'll see you next time.